Hi, I'm Pythius, and welcome to my studio. This is for the Beatport studio sessions, and I hope you will enjoy it. The track I will show you some parts of is the track called Suspect from my album Descent, which just came out a few days ago. And yeah, let's see. To start off, this studio I work in. It's also one of the Black Sun Empire studios. We all use a whole bunch of studios together here. It's great. And to start off, I got the Adams H3 S3H. They're like the new ones there. They're like super heavy, and I'm very happy I didn't have to carry them in because they're like 25 kilos a piece. That broke my back really. I've just bought this baby here as like a small present to myself. The DeepMind 12 by Behringer. Absolutely good synth. Really like it. Like good for arpeggios and like big trancy thing, but also for bass lines and all that. It's great. Furthermore, well, you got the Nord Lead 4 here, which we use as a MIDI keyboard. Never use the actual synth. I know, what the fuck are you doing, dude? But that's kind of the way it is. And furthermore, I've got the Steinberg UR28M sound card here, and a big ass computer. I use Cubase as well to make all my music in. So yeah, let's go in. To start out with, just play a bit of the track, really, so you know what's going on and stuff. It's got that like atmospheric bit intro, bit drum, and then you got this like techno-y sound coming in. Kind of listen to guys like Stefan Botzin and Max Cooper and all those influences. So yeah, that's kind of the, like the main thing of the track. And I will show you some parts how I did it. Let's start out with it's drum and bass. So let's start out with the bass. As you can see, it's a pretty simple serum. 2 oscillators, one getting frequency modulation from the other one. This one is a waveform I downloaded from some pack, or not sure where I got it anymore. It's getting some frequency modulation from the other one, which is a sinus, bit bended sinus, because you can see it goes back to a normal sinus here. And just transforms a bit. I'll show you like what the difference is. So it sounds like this with the sinus. Big thing. And then you have the sub oscillator here turned on. It's just literally for sub, but I think I've cut it off later on. So doesn't really make a difference. And you got the noise oscillator on as well. That makes a lot of difference. That really gives like the grimy top edge. And you have the LFO2 working here. It's going to the cutoff. Just makes all the movement and like make sure the sounds moving nice and slow. Well, not really slow, but you know what I mean. Alright, and let's go into the FX section. So yeah, I used some effects in this one. It's like a hyper here for some stereo, distortion unit, chorus, but that's disabled because probably I didn't like it. A small EQ to like cough the sound out a bit. A compressor. So we can, as you can see, just to boost the sound, that actually really makes a big difference in how the bass sounds. But as you see, that like creates a lot of like the gnarly top end of the whole bass. And then there's also this LFO is controlling this phaser filter, which makes some weird notches in the sound. So you don't really hear the difference apparently. Probably did while I was doing it. So you got that, and then it's supported by 2 sub bass layers. So you got this layer, which really gives like the low sub, but because both sound weren't really enough to get like the nice full bottom end, I added another sub layer, which is basically playing the same as this one, only an octave higher. So you got like a more fuller sub sound. And then there's this bit. And there's even more noisy sounds over it. There's like some crunchy highs, like with it's not doing a lot, but just some stuff. So that's basically how I built the whole mid. As you can see, there's some automation going on as well. Like you got the fluid going up. I think it's not. This is a disabled one. It's here on the sub, but I think the fluid here is That's disabled here because obviously it's a sub. I just copied the channels to have the same automation going on as the main mid bass, so the sub would sound as close to the mid bass as possible. So let's see what the fluid here is doing. It's just like to accentuate like the end of each like hit. So you got it going up, and if you don't like pull open the mix of the fluid, which I'm doing here, you get like a more, it just goes all super stereo at the end, which sounds pretty nice. And then there's this small other sound. It's another sound that just like accentuates that part as well. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's kind of the mid section. It got some other, and wow 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 sound. It's like nice to have something going on in the background, because if you don't put these like small filler things in, then you know, you won't have like, it will sound all too mono-y, and if you like some weird things going on in the background, it will just grab your attention and drag it back to the track. So you'll be like, oh yeah, what's that wow 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 thing? Even if you don't like consciously hear it, it will still like tickle your ears a bit, and that's always good to like have in the track, I guess. And I think I have another one of these weirdo sounds. That's basically the same sound with a tremolo on it. Alright, let's go to the lead part, because that's, as you see, I did a bit of automation on that, but you know. So yeah, this is the intro, like the main lead sound. As you can see, I have like multiple channels of basically the same sound. I did that because if you like, it goes up, and then the reverb will go on, and you know, if you all do that on the same channel, you can't cut it as clean if you just do like another. If you just copy the channel and just put it from there, because you always have like, especially when you have like these like straight curves that go down, you have like weird ticks or things if you just like try to pull it back. So this is for me the easiest way to just solve that. It's a bit more processor intensive, but I've got a strong computer, so I can handle it. So, and this is another layer, a bit lower one that basically runs underneath this one, just to give it a bit more body on the drop. And then the third actually comes in. That's a double of this one, so you get like this weird like delay-ish effect, but I have a bit more control over it since it's just a direct sound. And let's go into the sound itself. As you can see, there's like a whole ton of effects on there. You know, some EQs, one of my favorite filters, but a Saturn just to like carve the sound out a bit, because I just really like this, like the way it saturates the high, and it gives like a bit more like grimy edge to the whole sound. Yeah, just some side chaining, more EQing, just to pull back the highs a bit again, but just at certain points, because you know, sometimes when you open up the filter of the synth, they're too much high at it, and then it just like kind of pains your ears, so you have to like do these like slow, the further the filter goes open, you just pull the high a bit back into, you know, like make it more listenable. Well, another Saturn just for, I don't know why, just because I can apparently. And again, the fluid, there's a chorus thing just to like for the extra stereo. Alright, let's open up the synth itself. As you can see, like two oscillators going on, one with a saw wave and one with a sinus wave. They both got some pulse width modulation on them to make the sound a bit more interesting, and they're feeding into this low pass. You got the LFO here to get like the weird groove on the LFO, which it has. That's really nice function. That serum I like. You can just have like free range LFO function, so you can draw the most weird shapes that you want, and you can just do really groovy stuff. And I linked the cutoff frequency to the botzinator, as I call it here. Good name. Well done, here today. And that's just to like slowly open up the cutoff as it goes. See it going up very slowly here. Yeah, it's nice. Some effects on there, again a bit of like dimension, because it's a bit more stereo, because I used to detune here a bit, but it always, I don't know, gives some issues sometimes. a bit more distortion, flanger apparently, phaser, chorusy, bit of compression but not too much, reverb of course, and some extra. So yeah, that's basically the main sound, and then you got like this is basically just the same sound going on again, but detuned a bit, just filled it a bit different, and it goes for it. Just wanted to say I'm playing an octave higher again, you know. It's all just to like get some changes in the sound, but it supports it nice. And then here is another one. So yeah, this is the other synth, this is Surge. That's doing another lead later on in the track, especially used on the switch. It's a very stereo-y. The Surge itself is a frequency modulation. It's pretty nice. It's a bit old, but it does its job, and you can do some crazy stuff with that if you really get into it. This is a pretty basic one as well. There's some saw-waves. Yeah, pretty fun. Again, like, there's walls and walls of automation going on it, like frequencies, EQs, a lot of delays and reverb opening up again. And there it goes out again, and then, because you know, the same reason which I told earlier, this one is under it, and then there's another completely different sound on the drop. This I kind of tried to recreate the Surge sound, but what I wanted, the way I wanted to have the sound on the drop, I just couldn't get that with the Surge, so I just basically remade that sound again in the Diva, which is another one of my really favorite synths. Got this nice little ARP button going on down there, and like you got a swing thing on here. I just have a tiny bit of swing in this just to give it a bit more, you know, make it a little bit more moving. Yeah, so yes, pretty simple one again. Just all wave and some 2 cutoff. Yeah, it speaks for itself. As we scroll down in the track, there's some FX sounds going on here, like that's a nice one. Some simple sine drop with some distorting white noise on it, and this white noise riser, pretty simple as well. This is a cool sound. This is like some alarmy sound going on. That one's very nice. So yeah, so here we come to the drums. Simple kick. Play at samples. Here's the snare. So again, like 3 or 4 snares laid on top of each other. You know, there's like one for the attack, one for the body. Pretty simple work, really. And then here's the side snare, which is just for the side chaining. It doesn't really go anywhere, but just, you know, side chaining the channel. A lot of hats. More fillet samples. Some crashes. Jumilla crash. Shout out Jumilla. Yeah, distorted right. I really like this. Like, what you just do, you take I rendered it out once just for ease. What you just do, you take a right sample, and then you put like a ring modulator or something on it, and you know, you can just like completely destroy it, and it gets like these edges in the highs and in the mids. It's gonna crunch you without actually like you're losing any bit crushing or something. It still sounds, yeah, it sounds nice, eh? All right, and something like break layered under it. Even more head loops, some percussion hits. So it's just like an addictive drums, which I use a lot. But then I mean a lot in all my tracks. Because I know the hi-hats just sound nice, full, and have all the frequencies you want. So I just put it in, get one of the metal packs, EQ it a bit. Probably like play around a bit with like the attack and decay inside this. Let's see if I did that in this one. Not even. I just blended in. No, pretty. That's cool. Anyway, great for hi-hats. You get a more natural sounding full of hi-hats from this one. Love it. And we have a rendered version of the dub hit from a VPS Adventure synth, which I really like as well, but the synth is so heavy. I just have to render that out. It will eat my processor power. And And here's a weird, like, absinthe sound. More surge. Sounds a bit like, yeah, it sounds a bit Kamali. It does. And then shit tones with more swoops. That kind of is the track, really. So yeah. Bye.